So today we're going to be weaving on the Zoom Loom, which is a 4x4 pin loom manufactured by Shaft. What makes the Zoom Loom so easy to use and so portable is they actually write the instructions on the body of the loom itself. On each of the corners it tells you exactly where you need to thread this. What makes Zoom Loom weaving and pin loom weaving in general so easy is that only about 1/4 of it is actually woven with a needle. Half of your weaving and all of your warping is done by laying the yarn on it in intervals. On your first pass of yarn, you're going to be layering one warp layer, then you're going to layer one weft layer, and then you're going to layer a second warp layer, and then you take the needle and you weave your last weft layer. So to start, we're going to make our first warp layer. We're going to take about 6 inches of yarn and put it behind this notch here. You'll notice in this corner, there's a little number 1 and an arrow. We're going to follow that arrow and put it through around those pegs. You'll notice, if you look closely, that the outside of the outside pegs, all of these pegs here, are groupings of 3. On our first pass, we're going to go around the last 2 of each group of 3. So we'll go up and over around the last 2, down around the last 2. Now we're going to go around our first weft layer. We'll see here that the yarn comes out where there's a little tube, and then it shows an arrow that goes around this grouping of 3 and back through this way. So we're going to take that yarn and we're going to follow where the arrow says to go, and we're going to continue wrapping around the last 2 of every group of 3. So there's a group of 3. And now we're going to take our second warp pass. And now we're going to basically fill in the spaces that were skipped before. So we're going to go in between every loop at the 3 corner. So we'll start here, follow the arrow down, and we'll fill back in those first spaces that we missed around the first 2 of every group of 3. We've layered our entire warp in 2 separate passes, and we've layered half of our weft. So now we're going to finish measuring out how much weft we need so we can weave the rest with a needle. On the back it actually tells us it takes 5 wraps to get all the weft you need for your project. When it says a wrap, it means all the way around 1. And that's how much yarn we need to do this project. Alright, so now for weaving, we're going to start, and we're going to start our weaving through each of the loops on the outside every time we make a pass. So we start by going over and then under, just in a plain weave. Under, over, under, over, under, over, under, under. Back through over that second loop on the outside. Okay. All right. So now we've woven our square and we've got 2 ends, one up here and one down here. We're just going to weave them in by following the path that it followed on our last pass through, about halfway across. That tends to be a nice, secure way to end your project. Snip those ends off. Now we can flip it over and just pop it off the loom. We have a square.